Hey, good morning, everyone. I have pretty much only Sundays to do recordings. Everything is so chaotic around here, and since I wake up so early, this is a good time for me to make these recordings. So, I wanted to talk today about the carb addiction model that I heard from Dr. Rob Cywes out of Florida. He's originally from South Africa, and he has a YouTube channel. So, just look up Dr. Cywes, the Carb Addiction Doc. All right. Again, if I remember, I'll put it in the description. So let me give you kind of an idea how that works and why I like it. When I went on keto overnight. Cut out all sugars and starchy carbs. So all I was eating was pretty much fatty meats, eggs, butter, and salads. And I wound up going through a phase of about 3 to 4 days of headaches, and I had severe, what seemed to be withdrawals. All right, I had dry heaves, just everything. Look up just a regular old drug addiction, and the if your body has a physical dependency to the thing, look up what those symptoms are. And I had them. As a matter of fact, I had the symptoms most closely related to heroin, which is really weird. I mean, obviously I've never taken heroin or been addicted to it, but I did look up what heroin addicts go through, and it's like, holy smokes, that's exactly what I went through when I gave up sugar. This dawned on me. So when Dr. Rob Cywes talked about his carb addiction model, I'm like, dude, that resonates with me. He likes that word resonate, so I thought I'd use it. So my keto flu lasted a few days. I don't think it went more than a week, but I remember in my vlog, by the 9th day, I had like super energy, and I've never lost it. So I've had this kind of energy, this circadian rhythm of mine, is waking up at sunlight, going to bed at sundown, for the past 2+ years. All right. So, and I don't know if you guys have ever known an ex-smoker. I'm an ex-smoker. I finally quit all tobacco products about 19 years old. And I started, I think, 12 or 13. But of course, I didn't have enough money to smoke the packs a day required to, put you in the grave kind of thing. But there's nothing worse than an ex-smoker. They walk around and the smell, and they're literally, they have what's called arrogant integrity. They quit, and they're going to be arrogant about it. And only a smoker hates an ex-smoker. The rest of us are like, yeah, what the hell are you lighting up in here for? Get the hell out of here. You know what? Take your drug addiction somewhere else. Well, that's kind of how it works with carbohydrates. You're going to have to be tough. You're going to have to remember what you looked like. I know what I looked like. I was fat. I didn't feel good. I was hangry, hypoglycemic, you name it. I was off the chart with explosive anger. And damn you if you think I'm going back to that. No way. And now when I see other people, I watch a lot of YouTube videos lately on a lot of car crashes, because I like to learn my wisdom through experience. Ooh, hey, I better not do that. Ooh, that sounds like something I shouldn't do. And the road ragers that come out of their cars, bar none, are big, fat, angry pigs. Not their fault. It's not their fault. They're addicted. They're drug addicts. And they probably haven't had their drug. All right? And they're in a constant state of anger, and all they can think about is when their next donut's coming. I get it. I've been there. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to start forming opinions, going, oh, yeah, carb addicted. How do you know somebody's a smoker? Because they smoke. How do you know a drinker? Sometimes they're homeless. They're constantly drinking. The ones that I know of are, they're destitute. They've blown out their family, their friends. How do I know you're a carbohydrate addict? Because you got diabetes. You may not have been diagnosed yet, but I look at your belly, and you got diabetes. Period. End of story. The end. You can argue all you want, but don't argue with me. Go out and argue with the Dr. Berries, the Dr. Cyveses, the Professor Bart K's of the world. I'm not into the argument thing. I just regurgitate what they tell me. So what can you do with your addiction? Well, you can go cold turkey like I did. Ugh, not recommend, it'll make you sick. Or come down slowly. So I have a method for that we can get into in later videos. And you'll want to be in that carb-free zone for at least 6 months to rework your machinery to become fat adapted. Once you're fat adapted, the magic continues. You just drop weight. I mean, like cutting those sandbags off of a balloon, and there you go. It took me 9 months to get to where I am, and I've been here for almost 2 years in January. So you need to educate people about your addiction. You know, if you were an alcoholic, who in their right mind would offer you a beer? Now, two kinds of people do this. Ignorant people, they just didn't know. Hey, I'm an alcoholic, thank you for, oh, no. And they're apologetic as hell, right? And the second one is just an idiot. Hey, dude, oh, come on, man. You know, just one little beer. He's a jerk. You need to 180 from that idiot forever. Write him off your life. Don't ever talk to him again. He's a bonehead, all right? And this is kind of where we get into this idea of concern trolls. Well, you were eating yourself to death, drinking yourself to death, smoking yourself to death. They were all coming up and saying, oh my God, you're not eating donuts and crackers and bread and drinking Coke and doing all kinds of dumb things with your life anymore. You're eating steaks and salads, and I'm worried about you because every website I've ever looked at says steaks and salads are bad for you. What? They really mean well, but their concern is misplaced. No, where were you when I was eating Pop-Tarts and all this nonsense? Where were you when I was eating cereal and putting sugar water, well, milky sugar water, they call it milk, but it's not, all over it, and drinking sugar juice colored orange and eating fruits that are full of sugar and then eating bananas that are full of sugar and all this, you know, DASH diet nonsense. Where were they when you couldn't lose an ounce? They were right with you because they're just as fat as you are. Are you kidding? Some of them don't want you to get thin because then guess what? Makes them, well, I'm just going to say, you know what? But you need to educate people. Guys, I'm a carb addict. Don't offer me cakes, sodas, nothing. Are we cool? Now, the first time you're nice about it. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm changing my life. I've lost weight. I'm not in diabetes anymore, and I'd appreciate it if you just, you know, allow me just to kind of eat my meat and fatty, my fats, my eggs, my butter, and, you know, and we can hang out and all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate you not offering me, you know, and because of a consequence of that, I eat so much at a sitting that I don't get hungry. So, I mean, you don't have to offer me food or anything. That's cool. Now, after you've educated them, now some will just out of habit relapse, and then you gently admonish might be too strong a word in English these days, but it's an admonishment. It's like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I kind of mentioned that I'm really not, you know, I eat a different lifestyle. I am a different human being right now. I don't eat any plant material whatsoever, but I appreciate it. Now, the third time, you're going to have to get in their face. Oh, but just, I told you I don't eat plants. Get it through your thick skull. Do I make myself clear? And then smile. And just say, nothing personal. I just had to make sure that you have the sternest of warnings from me. Do not ask me ever again. Thank you very much. So sometimes you have to do that. Hopefully not. But some family members and friends are thick, and if they go, well, I'm never going to, okay, bye, have a nice one, enjoy your life. The worst thing you can do as a heroin addict is go back to a bunch of heroin users. What should they be telling you in rehab? Bruh, all your triggers, gone. Everyone who was anyone in your life is now dead to you, unless you want to go back to smoking heroin or whatever it is you do with this stuff. I don't know, I guess you inject it, whatever. So there it is. You can adopt the carb addiction model, and it's a great model. It explains a lot of things. My buddy Perry Mastrangelo said, you wear your diet. And I heard it from him first, so I coined him. He's the quoter, man. You wear your diet. If I look at any carnivore, I'm just like, and I saw two very healthy looking people. Well, the wife was kind of potchy, little thick in the belly. But the husband was pretty lean, and I'm like, are you guys like on keto or carnivore? And he's like, yeah. I mean, we eat whole food, and the wife's like, yeah, well, I still eat fruits and vegetables. I knew that. You eat fruits and vegetables, you're gonna have a gorilla belly. Sorry. You're fermenting your food. You're not. We're actually enzymatic digesters. Humans. We're not fermenters. Gorillas are fermenters. Cows are fermenters. So, I guess when you call people gorillas or cows, it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of what they eat, right? So that would be their diet. So go ahead and adopt the carb addiction model, and if you want some help with that, let me know. Write me down in the comments. We'll get a hold of each other. I'm pretty cheap just because I live in Mexico. So the conversion rate from almost every currency to pesos, I guess, isn't a bad one. And I'm a minimalist, so I don't need a lot to live on. But either way, if you want to get with me, I've been doing this now for well over 2 years, and it would be great to help you achieve whatever lifestyle goals you might want. We'll talk soon. Be well.